Good afternoon, you wonderful, wonderful people that are watching this video. The big news today is that last night, Arsenal crashed out of the Champions League. PSG advanced to the final. They will be meeting Inter Milan in this year's Champions League finale. What a finale that is going to be. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as well in this live stream. But the main bulk of this video is, of course, going to center around Arsenal. Arsenal crashing out again. Arsenal with another absolute failure of a season, a nearly season, a what could have been season. It is becoming the same old story with Arsenal year after year after year with Mikel Arteta. And the question is, after last night's dismal, pathetic performance and results, is this the end for Mikel Arteta? Should he go? Should he stay one more year at least? I want to gauge your guys' thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it on this topic. So hit the like button if you haven't already on this live stream. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And like Jordan and Marco here, get involved in the chat as well. We'd love to gauge your guys' thoughts and comments on this. Big up Jordan. Go and subscribe to this guy doing absolutely incredible things over on his channel. Please do go over there. There's something for everyone, I'm sure. Please give him your attention and your likes, subscriptions, and all of the above. We'll be dropping the link soon, my dude. I'm gonna get the stuff that I want to say off my chest, and then I will be dropping a link to anybody and everybody that wants to come in and have their say, especially if you're an Arsenal fan. I want to gauge the opinions and thoughts of Arsenal fans today. Big up Marco's in the chat. This one hurts as a Barca fan. I can only feel your pain, my dude. I can only feel your pain. It was one hell of a performance from, well, not just your side on the night, but Inter as well. One hell of a game. And yes, very unfortunate that you're on the wrong end of the result on that night, especially after leading for the first time in the minute that you did. And then obviously to find out that you got Arsenal in the next round, if, PSG, or it would have been Arsenal in the final. Stings. I can only feel your pain, my dude. Thoughts on Arteta's statements that Arsenal was the better team in the Champions League? Pretty delusional, if you ask me. 100%, bro. We will get on to the comments that were made. We're going to be going through it from start to finish, to the aftermath, to obviously the questions that are now being posed of Mikel Arteta. So we'll be going through all of that and much more. So like I say, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you guys are new. And also get involved in the chat like Jordan and Marco have already. Would be greatly appreciated from you all. So, big up Jordan. Big up, bro. So, Arsenal were going into this game 1 goal down. Going into the game in Paris in front of the Ultras. It's going to always be a tough uphill battle. And they actually started off the game, the opening 20 minutes, very, very well. I thought Arsenal did exactly what they were expected to do, which was to try and silence the home crowd, to try and get back into the game as quickly as possible. Similarly to how PSG approached the game last week, when, of course, they were away from home. I thought Arsenal were very good in the opening 20 minutes. And then after the opening 20 minutes, that's where the wheels came apart. As soon as Kvaratskhelia hit the counter-attack, hit the post, that was the signal that from that point forward, it was all going downhill. Because until that point, Arsenal were very good. They tested Donnarumma on a couple of occasions. Martin Odegaard actually turned up for the opening 20 minutes before disappearing for the remainder of the game. I thought there were a few good players that actually started off the game pretty well and then dropped as the game wore on. But after that 20-minute spell, that was it. Arsenal had pretty much shot their shot. That was it. And then PSG took control of the game. Didn't have it all their own way, PSG. They weren't like anything spectacular or scintillating on the night. But they got the job done, and that's what matters most. Like I say, Kvaratskhelia hit the post. You had Fabian Ruiz score a quality goal. It was deflected a little, but it was still a quality goal. A clean strike after a mistake from Declan Rice to give away the free kick. Arsenal tried to get back into the game. PSG looked extremely dangerous on the counter-attack. And in the second half, Vitinha had the opportunity to kill the game off with a penalty. It looked a fairly controversial penalty. It looks like it's one of those handballs that you get in Europe, but you don't necessarily get in the Premier League. Slightly controversial, but Vitinha's penalty was so poor, but it didn't matter anyway, because moments later, Hakimi wraps the game up, scores a very fine goal. PSG go on and win the game. Bukayo Saka does give Arsenal a glimmer of hope, capitalising on a mistake from the PSG defence. The only real mistake the PSG defence made in the entirety of the, well, not just even last night's game, but across both semi-final legs. Saka scores. He misses a golden opportunity moments later to bring Arsenal properly back into the game. But PSG hold on, and they are through to the final in Munich to face Inter Milan in what is going to be an incredible, incredible game. An absolutely phenomenal game, I'm sure. Where do we get up to with the comments? Arsenal's goal was quite fortunate. Couple of mishaps by PSG defenders. The goal did not rattle PSG at all. All the commentators said PSG were rattled after that. Of course they are. If you were following, I assume it was like maybe English commentary, maybe that you were following. Yeah, they're going to try and hype the game up as best as possible. So, of course, they're going to say they were rattled. Yeah, it wasn't in any way, shape or form like PSG were rattled. If Saka had scored that opportunity moments later, maybe they would have been rattled. But no, PSG did recover very well from that minor setback. I do agree. I have Inter winning this thing now. They mean business. Yeah, I said from when Liverpool got knocked out, don't sleep on Inter. And then, unfortunately, I backed Barcelona to beat Inter because I thought they were catching them at the right time. So I kind of gone back and forth a little bit over that. Yeah, I feel bad. So you'll sort that out. Don't think Josh is here, bro, but cool. I thought Saka's goal last night was a bit fortunate. Little bit, like I say, it was a mistake from the PSG defense, the first that they did in the entirety of the two legs. So slightly fortuitous, but you have to make your own luck at times. Go through that. That's between you guys. Inter did business not long ago against Bayern too, so they know how to handle that stadium. Yeah. It's going to be one hell of a final. It's going to be one hell of a final. Let's put it that way. But last night, everybody's looking for who to blame on the Arsenal side of things. And everybody needs to take accountability because this was not just about one game. This was not just about two legs. This was not just about one tie. This was a culmination of the entire season as far as what I'm concerned with Arsenal. This season is another season of what could have been. Another maybe season. Maybe FC. Netflix FC. Maybe we'll go again next season. That kind of thing. It's becoming a recurring nightmare for Arsenal. that they're having to deal with season after season after season, it seems. And I personally think they've reached maybe their ceiling with Mikel Arteta right now. I personally do see that, because I unless they are to go and have an unbelievable transfer window, I don't see a world in which he improves. And that's not to say he's not a bad coach. He's not a bad coach. He's clearly not a bad coach. He took Arsenal from mediocrity to competing again for the major honours. That still has to be recognised. But he's just a manager who, let's face it, this is his first job as well. He's just a manager who just can't get them across the finish line. And there is a number of reasons for that. You can look at this season and you can look at the club didn't do enough for Arteta. You can look at the players and say some of them maybe not be good enough. The depth may not be good enough. And you can look at the manager himself and go, maybe the guy's just not that good. Maybe the guy's just too weird and too out there, squeezing lemons or whatever, having hired professional pickpocketers and all of these crazy sort of experiments, shall we say, that are completely bizarre from the outside looking in, but to him they make sense. Maybe a culmination of all of these things is just too much for Arsenal to handle, because at the end of the day, you can look at the club and say they didn't do enough for Arteta. Because let's face it, let's take last season. Arsenal got knocked out by Bayern Munich last season. Arteta said in the aftermath of that game, we don't have a 25 to 30 goal a season striker to carry us over the finish line. So what did Arsenal go and do in the summer? Oh, they bought Calafiori. They bought Mikel Merino, who has been used as a striker, but he's not a 25 to 30 goal a season striker, nor is he a natural striker. And they loaned in Raheem Sterling. There is no striker whatsoever in amongst that mess of players. No striker whatsoever. So how come he's... And according to a lot of Arsenal fans as well, he has final say on these transfers. So if he knew what he wanted last season and what he needed last season, where's the striker that was meant to carry them across the finish line this season? That's part of the club. That is part on the manager. You can look at the players. Martin Gostergaard, Martin Odegaard, whatever kind of weird name you kind of want to throw in there for him, has ghosted all season. He turned up for 20 minutes last night and then thought, that's enough. Can give it a rest now. That's your captain, by the way. That is your captain. Martin Odegaard, your captain, not turned up all season, puts in a 20-minute performance and then ghosts again. How is he, A, being picked constantly, week in, week out? What dirt has this guy got on Arteta to be picked? Or is this down to Arteta being stubborn by giving him the captain's armband and saying, he's my captain, I'm sticking by this decision, and the moment I drop him, it feels like I've lost. So is Arteta being stubborn, or is this on Odegaard? And secondly, how has he still got the captain's armband? Don't get me wrong. Before he got injured, Gabriel was insane. Gabriel was a real leader. Declan Rice has taken over and is a real leader. Every time that I see Arsenal on the pitch these days, I see Declan Rice front and centre. I don't see Odegaard. I don't see him taking the reins, grabbing the team by the scruff of the neck, that kind of thing. It's always Declan Rice. It's always Gabriel. David Raya even has leadership qualities. I don't see Odegaard leading this team. It baffles me. And maybe the weight of the captain's armband has also weighed heavily on him and why his performances have dipped. Because once again, last night, he was poor. And after 20 minutes, it was like Arsenal were down to 10 men. And I'm frustrated. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm frustrated from the outside looking in on this guy. It's frustrating even for me That's the baffling thing about it. The comfort we can take as Barca fans is we know we are the best and everyone knows it except maybe Liverpool. I mean, come on, bro. You've already won the Copa del Rey. You're going to win La Liga. It's not a bad season considering Real Madrid are winning nothing. Is it? Like, be grateful, my dude. I know you're Barcelona, but be grateful. Be grateful. Might not happen again. Robbie said Arsenal had a better season if Man United win Europa League, but you just know if it was Arsenal winning the Europa League, he would say Arsenal had a better season. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. But wasn't the year that Arsenal won the FA Cup? Didn't he say that with Arsenal winning the FA Cup when Arteta won it in 2020? Didn't he say that they had a better season than Man United then? I could be so wrong on that, and if I am, I stand corrected. But I genuinely think I remember Robbie saying that when Arsenal won the FA Cup, they had a better season than United. And at that time, he was right. And here's the thing. If Man United, or Spurs, by the way, or Spurs, so we will get on to how Arsenal's season can get even worse, but all Spurs win the Europa League this year, they have had a better season than Arsenal because A, they've won a trophy, and B, they've both achieved Champions League despite United or Spurs being closer to the relegation zone than they are the top 5. Simple as that. Reports say Man City actually did not want to continue with De Bruyne rather than the other way around. That's why he might stay in the Prem. Hey, if that's the case, fair enough. He can still go wherever he wants. I put out a short about that, by the way, because Liverpool are interested. So check that out if you haven't already. 700 million is not enough. Welcome, by the way, Social Joins. Hope you are well, my friend. Even though you seem, I'm assuming you're an Arsenal fan by this. With a quarter of our budget have actual 9s. The guy spent money to play midfielders up front. He's built this squad. Would you give more money to a poorer spender? Look, I don't think you can deny that all of that money has been completely wasted. You can't say that. But I do agree that for the past couple of years, at least, you have been crying out for a quality, ice-cold killer in front of goal. And you've just simply not got that. You've simply not bought that. And like I say, last season, he even said himself that that was the one thing he was missing from his squad. And then he didn't go out and get it this summer or in the January transfer window. So he only has himself to blame. And, you know, you can blame the club as well. Everybody has to take accountability. I completely agree. It's an absolute joke when you consider the amount of money that's been spent. Do you think the Community Shield should count as a proper prize? Not really. I know you have to get there by winning a trophy, but it's just it's a sort of like a half trophy, isn't it? It's a half trophy. The guy got a job as a rookie, 5 years, budget of 7K, any Wenger budget. He just ain't the guy. That's all there is to it. Like I say, I don't think you can deny where he's took you from, the mediocrity to competing, but I agree. I just don't think he's the guy to get you across the finish line. I really just do not think he's the guy to get you across the finish line. How much percent do you give Bilbao to qualify? Me, 15. I go 10. 10. Then again, it is United. If Onana drops a stinker, you might raise that percentage. Yeah, somewhere around about 10, 15. We might totally not win La Liga, bro. We lose this weekend, and it's only 1 point. Yep. I think you'll be fine. I hope you will be anyway. Can't stand Madrid right now. Big up. Yeah, he said that. I remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I'm so sure he did. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did. Everyone will win a trophy except Arsenal. The coach is rubbish. Maybe. If you are Gyökeres, you are not picking Arsenal over Liverpool, I reckon. Depends. It depends which way you're looking at it. That Berta pull, that Arteta pull, allegedly, that's there, according to certain Arsenal fans. We have 60 million of talent on loan. It's poor spending. Why everyone is giving this guy a pass in the season? I agree with you, bro. I agree. Like, the signing of Raheem Sterling, I said, you know, if there was something that I wasn't seeing, then fair enough. But he's not been trusted. I've said time and time again this season, Arteta does not trust in his squad whatsoever. And his squad is somewhat built poorly. There are certain areas of the team that are really, really good. I think he's had to trust in Miles Lewis-Skelly. I don't think that trust has been put into him properly. I think that's been kind of thrust upon him a little bit. But he's had to trust him in a position in which, to my knowledge, and from what I've gathered from certain Arsenal fans, is not his natural position. Other areas of the team, like I say, doesn't really trust Nwaneri. Where the hell was he last night when you needed some sort of spark and creativity and just something different? Nowhere to be seen. Continues with Odegaard, continues with Trossard and Martinelli as one of the two on the left. I agree. I think certain areas of this squad have been dressed up as poor or not improved upon enough. Because Arsenal are counting Community Shields and FA Cups now for Arteta. Arteta is. He's got one FA Cup and 2 half trophies, which make up one, in my opinion. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. The Community Shield divides people. That's between you guys. Okay, how much percent do you give Bodo Glint? Me, 20. I would give Bodo Glint a higher percentage just because it's Spurs. Just because it's Spurs. And they have to go to Norway. And Bodo Glint have been very good at home from what I can gather. So, yeah. We are playing against Real Madrid this weekend and we are licking our wounds. If the mentality is there, bro, you'll be fine. If the mentality to pick up... And plus, you've got Lewandowski back, which is going to be massive. So, we shall get... You'll get there, I'm sure. Arteta, Paul, dead. Hey, I'm just going off what certain fans are saying. I'm not saying it's Arteta, Paul, myself. I'm just saying that is what certain fans have said. That's why they've allegedly tied up this Zubimendi deal. That's why they've allegedly tied up all other deals in the... I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Slot Paul, absolutely. Love it. Just say report and block. I found you through search. Oh, that's pretty easy. Mike, how are you doing, bro? Hope you are well. He says sack the fraud now. Like I say, as a rival fan, I've got to say keep him. As a neutral fan, somewhat agree. Ethan doesn't run enough or track back. It's not about attacking creativity here. I just think last night there was nothing that changed. There was nothing at all that changed. We said in the first leg that Arteta didn't do anything to change the game. PSG were dominating. PSG had complete control. He did nothing to change the game. And as you're going through the second leg, with the prospect of being dumped out becoming more and more inevitable, he just did nothing to change it. Nwaneri not tracking back, would you rather have him on the pitch to create something or to be on the pitch just to maybe do anything in comparison to a captain that is on the pitch doing nothing, ghosting? I just think there was nothing there that Arteta changed. He's too stubborn. He's too rigid. And the stubbornness will get you. The stubbornness will get you. It's the same that I said about And Postecoglou at Tottenham. His stubbornness, it comes back to bite you eventually. Lewandowski back, yeah, but he came on with 1 minute to go and everything went south. Not a good look, but I still blame Gerard Martin mostly. You know what I will say as well? The Lamine Yamal chance where he hit the post. Unfortunate, yes. But in my opinion, game management there dictates to me that you take that ball to the corner. I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's open to opinion and interpretation, and maybe I'm in the minority there, but I just think the game management side of things there in that specific moment was just not quite there, and it showed the inexperience of maybe your team, to be honest with you, not just Yamal. That's Arteta, stiff running football, stick to the script. It's a joke here. Like I said, we're echoing each other, I think, in that sense. As a Barca fan, this one hurts more than the 4-0 against Liverpool. Really? I mean, really? Does the Tuesday night one hurt more? Does it hurt? I would have thought the Liverpool one would have hurt more, simply for the reason that you were 3-0 up, bro. You were 3-0 up. Odegaard is a good player, good squad player, nothing more. He doesn't have ego to go up levels. He should be a squad. I agree. Squad player, and take that captaincy off him. Take the captaincy off him. Squad player. Bring him in for rotation. I agree, bro. I agree. We'll be dropping the link soon, bro. I'm just going to get the rest of what I need to say off my chest, and then anyone and everyone can join if they so wish. Yeah, it hurts more because 4-0 is just whitewash. Here we were 1 minute away. Yeah, but if you'd have scored one goal in that, the game would have probably been over. The game would have probably been dead if you'd have just scored one goal. I don't know. I'm just trying to think if we'd... I don't know, man. Like, I find that a little strange, to be honest with you, but you're entitled to your opinion, so fair play. But yeah, everybody has to take accountability. I think Arteta was too stubborn. I think Arteta was too rigid. I think he messed up by not changing things sooner. He didn't even try to do anything different. He went like for like across the pitch. Didn't throw on his wild card in Winery, in my opinion. And he cost Arsenal the game, in my opinion. You could argue individual performances. I don't think anybody played great after the opening 20 minutes. I think the effort was there, but the performance just wasn't. But I think everybody has to take accountability, and it comes down to mentality. This is what I've been saying all season long. Mentality. When the pressure is off Arsenal, they are great. They perform really well. The pressure was off of them against Real Madrid because no one was expecting them to win. And guess what? They went on to win the game. No one was expecting them to perform well in certain other games this season, and they went on to do it. But when the pressure's been on all season long to either close the gap on Liverpool at the top of the table, to put pressure on Liverpool before they play at a weekend, to go on in this scenario where people are giving them more of a chance to get a result against PSG than they did against Real Madrid, to go on and build off that Real Madrid game, they crumbled. They bottled it yet again. The mentality is just there for everybody to see that this side don't have it. This side don't have what it takes at times. And maybe that builds up with experience. Maybe you need to just inject some experience into that team. They're the two ways to go about it. But the fact is mentality. You got mentality of players that are just not fully there. You have mentality of a manager that is becoming more and more deluded with certain things that he's saying by the game week, by the month. There are so many... When Arsenal got knocked out by Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, he blamed the ball. I remember doing a video on that and basically stating that when managers make up these excuses, you can normally tell that this is the beginning of the end. And we've seen it spiral because he blamed the ball in the Carabao Cup. Weak, in my opinion. Very, very weak. He then goes on to do all the over my dead body stuff. What did he say about several weeks ago? He said something several weeks ago that has just escaped my memory. That was just completely bizarre. I'm trying to think what I can't remember what he said, but it was something that was just so out there and so weird. I can't remember what he said. This week, he mentioned about Liverpool and the points tally of Liverpool and saying how you need to be in the right place at the right time. And I was just bizarre by that because, A, if we win all of our remaining games, we'll have got 91 points, which is higher than any points tally that Arteta's managed to accumulate in a single season. And B, it's like we were ahead of Arsenal at this stage. Plus, like I say, the 38 games in a season. There's 38 games in a season. Arteta only counts 35, apparently. Like, he's such a strange guy. And then to come out last night and say that Arsenal were the best team in this competition. If you were the best team in this competition, Mr. Arteta, you would be in the final, my dude. You'd be in the final if you were the best team in this competition. But you weren't because you bottled it in the first leg. You bottled it in the second leg. You flopped. Your team flopped. Your club let you down. You let everybody down. It is a failure of a season. And the worst is yet to come. Because not only have you gone on to witness Liverpool win a Premier League title at your expense this season, you've also about to witness one of probably Manchester United or Tottenham win a Europa League. Probably. Obviously, not set in stone, not guaranteed, but it's probable that one of them two is going to win the Europa League. You're going to witness Chelsea win a Europa Conference League. Regardless of what you think about the Europa Conference League, that is still a moment in history, and that is still a European Cup that Chelsea are going to win. That one is pretty much set in stone, by the way. You're going to see a Manchester City team have a poor season, but probably still go on and win an FA Cup. Unless Crystal Palace of all teams go on and beat them. And then to top it off, you're going straight from defeat against PSG, crashing out of the Champions League into a guard of honor on Sunday. All of these things are just culminating. All of these things are just binding together to create a head coach that is deluded and is out of his depth right now, in my personal opinion. Don't get it twisted. How he's taken Arsenal from mediocrity back to challenging. Fine. We can at least acknowledge that. We can recognize it and we can somewhat respect it. But the fact of the matter is that you haven't gone that extra mile. The fact of the matter is that this Arsenal side... No, wait. I was just about to compare this Arsenal side to the Tottenham side that was under Mauricio Pochettino. But the difference is Pochettino actually got to a final with Spurs. And the longer and longer that this continues, the more and more of the Arsenal and Tottenham comparisons are going to align. The one saving grace The one moment and glimmer of hope that Arsenal have going into next season is their new sporting director, Berta. If he manages to pull a rabbit out of the hat, if he manages to pull off an unbelievable transfer window as far as what Arsenal are concerned, maybe, just maybe, he might be able to save not just Arsenal, not just the Arsenal fans from going in absolutely insane, but maybe he might be able to save Mikel Arteta as well. And if he does, don't build a statue for Arteta. Don't build a statue for like Declan Rice or for Martin Odegaard. Build a statue for that sporting director that got you over the finish line. There is a lot there to unpack, in my opinion. Marco says, hurts more, in my opinion, because then we had just Messi. Now our entire team is good, and we have not won a Champions League in ages. We are really craving a Champions League title. Hey, you, Inter, and PSG, and Arsenal both, all four of the teams in the semi-finals are craving a Champions League. Inter haven't won it since the incredible treble-winning season of 2010. Arsenal have never won it. PSG have never won it. And, of course, your team haven't won it since 2015, I want to say. 2014, 2015. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is. I want to say it's 15. I'll go with my first guess. That's the coach. Weak mentality. It's always safe, self-preservation, BS. Well, mate, we're singing off the same hymn sheet with that. Like I say, it's you can tell he's learnt from Guardiola, but you'd be stupid to be the teacher and give your student all of the tricks of the trade. That's why the only managers to beat Guardiola to a title have been managers that don't play the Guardiola way. Mourinho, Klopp, Slot. They don't play the Pep Guardiola way. Arteta does. And look what's happened. We don't want to be the best in Spain. We want to be the best in Europe again for once. Baby steps, bro. Baby steps. You'll get there. Like I say, got a very good team building up over there. You'll go out in the summer. You'll get a few decent players. Hansi Flick will probably learn from his mistake in the Champions League. You'll go again. Don't worry. Seems like the board is still fully backing Arteta. Oh, 100%, bro. He's not leaving. He's not leaving, and the club aren't going to kick him out. And Arteta's not going to leave because Arteta will probably have to be dead before he leaves. He's seemingly so adamant and stubborn that he seems to actually be staying. And don't get me wrong, I may be getting like really frustrated about this from the outside looking in, but as a Liverpool fan, keep him in because I think this is his ceiling and he's going to continue to bang his head off of that ceiling because he's never going to break through it and actually get across the finish line. At least not in terms of Champions League or Premier League. FA Cup, he's already proven he can win it. Carabao Cup, yeah, it is what it is. Could we reach 99 points before we play Palace? I mean, that would be impressive if we did, considering there's only 3 games left and we're on 82 points. 82 points. Be impressive if we did, bro. Arteta is a brick, end of. In January, Arteta said if Arsenal play like he knows they can, there is no doubt Arsenal will lift the Prem. And at that point, Arsenal were like 10 points behind Liverpool. There was something else he said as well. And it's going to really, really annoy me. And I can guarantee you that the moment that I end this stream, I'm going to remember it. There was something else he said. I genuinely, I can't remember it. I can't remember it. I'm going to see if I saved something. That's going to, it's really, really doing my head. He said something else as well. And I'll probably put it in a video. But I can't honestly remember. Oh, what did he say? It's going to really, really annoy me. I know, quality content while I just cycle through some old videos and old things I've saved. No, it's gone. I genuinely can't remember. It's going to do me head in. If anyone can remember, if anyone can read my brain or anything, like, really appreciate that. Sunday, Arsenal Guard of Honor at Liverpool. Yep, we will be there to witness that. Love it. Chelsea can become the first team to win all European Cups that exist. Exactly. Major history there for Chelsea, even if they may not like the Conference Cup. It's still big part of history. It will still be a trophy. Still big. Who do you expect to be the main rivals for the Premier League next season? Still Arsenal and City. Still Arsenal and City. You just know that City are going to spend big in the summer. They're going to come back fighting. Arsenal have the established team. It's just going to be about whether or not they can put the final pieces to this puzzle. Poch is so mid at I've not been following it, to be honest, so got no idea, but I'll take your word for it. I expect big things from Ancelotti to Brazil. I expect them to win the World Cup. I mean, if you're Arsenal, surely try and sway him over, right? Surely try and sway him over to maybe signing for Arsenal. Just a thought. Who else has a statue besides Bergkamp and Henry at Arsenal? You'd have to ask an Arsenal fan, bro. No idea. Did you like PSG's Tifo? Much better than the Arsenal one. Not that it was like the bar was set high on that one. Slot said Chelsea was the best team he has faced this season in the Premier League. I mean, was that the first game? Was that the first game, or was this recently on Sunday? Because everyone's going crazy about Chelsea on Sunday. And yes, Chelsea were pretty good. But if Liverpool had actually turned up and played with a bit more intensity, we definitely would have got something out of that game. We didn't, it wasn't like Chelsea completely blew us out of the water, in my opinion. I just think we turned up with a midfield that hasn't played together in over a year. We turned up with Jerome Kwanzaa at centre-back, Kostas Tsimikas at left-back, and we didn't play to our full capacity. Everyone's going a bit crazy about that Chelsea game, and I just think people need to just calm down. Cole Palmer hasn't been seen for like the past 4 or 5 months, and yet scores a penalty, creates at least one of the goals, I think. And apparently the past 4 or 5 months of him barely scoring are completely forgotten about because of one half-decent performance against a Liverpool side that were drunken on the beach. Baffling to me. Zidane at Liverpool would be... Liverpool. Zidane at Arsenal would be sick. Arsenal don't deserve Zidane, in my opinion. Like I say, the weird thing about this whole debate of Arteta in, Arteta out is just that certain fans want to say that they're with him or they're not, but they don't want to give suggestions as to how they would improve Arsenal. For me, you need to look at someone who's a bit more established and can get you over the finish line. Ancelotti, Simeone, maybe even an Inzaghi, Zidane, potentially. There are solutions out there. It's just whether or not this weird cult-like following that Arteta seems to have built up over the years is actually going to is actually going to one day decide, you know what? Maybe he isn't the guy to get us across the finish line. Maybe he's just the guy to lay the foundations for someone to just build upon. Dropping a link anyway, guys, if you want to come on and have your say on this. I know it's a bit late because I rambled on a bit. But, yeah, if you're still around, if you still want to jump in, feel free to do so. Would love to gauge your guys' thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. Cole Palmer would score way more if the manager would actually play him in his right position. It's the one thing with Poch in comparison to this season. Poch knew Palmer was his star and just let him do whatever the hell he wanted. Gave him that kind of free role. Maresca seems to have kind of slightly nailed him down a little bit. Slightly reduced his sort of freedom a little. Fabregas could be Arsenal manager in the future. He's doing great in Serie A with limited funds, and he is an Arsenal man. I mean, they went with Arteta, who's a former Arsenal man, so it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he continues. No matter how good you are, you still need a bit of luck to win the Champions League. Liverpool and Barca are examples of that this season. To win anything, bro, to win anything, you need a bit of luck. It doesn't matter. Like, look at PSG last night. The goals that they scored took a couple of deflections. Like, great goals. And you make your own luck 100%. No one is denying that, you know, luck's a bad thing. You make your own luck. Sometimes you just need that little bit just to get you across the finish line. Some teams have it. Some teams don't. I'm still trying to think of that stupid thing that Arteta said. Oh, there was also that thing last year of don't be satisfied with second place, don't be satisfied with failure, that kind of thing. So this season, they did absolute failure. No progression whatsoever in any competition. And yeah, apparently you're now meant to be. But yeah, that is apparently what Arteta said last year. So there you have it. Don't be satisfied with failure. And then when failure happens this season, we'll go again next season. Is what it is. Top 5 is not locked up yet for Arsenal if they lose all 3 games. I mean, yes, you're right, but their final game of the season is against Southampton. And even if they do lose to us on Sunday, is it No, it's not Bournemouth. They just played Bournemouth, didn't they? Is it Brighton? No. Is it United? Is it United, the second to last game of the season? I don't remember who they've got. All I remember is that they've got Liverpool on Sunday and they've got Southampton on the final day of the season. Regardless, like they're winning against Southampton, so top 5 is tied up. Top 5 is a certainty. Like that is, in my opinion, no question. I don't think that's a question, to be honest with you. This is really, really annoying me. This is really. I need to find it out because it's really doing my head in. So doing my head in as to why I can't remember what Arteta said because it was just weird. I can't find it. Forget it. I'll try to. Forest on 6 points behind. I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think the top 5 race is pretty much done. Benrack, 2 headers, Southampton with nothing to lose, and Arsenal out of the top 5. If that is to happen, bro, there can be no excuse. If that is to happen, needs to lose the Champions League spot, he's done. Man is done. Arsenal still play Newcastle. Is it Newcastle? I mean, it could potentially be 2 losses then. It could all be riding on that Southampton game if obviously other results are to go ahead. It's tricky to play those already relegated teams. Let's go Southampton. Fingers crossed. Anyway, joining me now, the one and only Jordan Hyman. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good, man. Big up, man. Big up the chat. I'm good, man.
Good man. So, your predictions this week were Barcelona against PSG to make the final. You got 50% of it right. What did you make of the game yesterday?
Well, I saw it highlight yesterday because I didn't saw the live coverage. I lost current in the morning, but I watched the highlights in the night. But wow, man, Fabian Ruiz, what a goal, man! This guy just too good. And also Hakimi, man. I don't know what Arteta was thinking about. I don't know what's going on, man. And also Saka, man, the chance that he can get. So I think they need to strip Odegaard of that captaincy. So indeed, so everybody's calling it no, Arteta needs to be sacked. So yeah, it looks to me like they're still trophyless.
Yep. Well, one FA Cup to show for 5 years in charge after what Social said earlier was 700 million spent. 700 million spent. And of course that FA Cup came in his first half a season as well. Like that was a lot of people will say like, oh, that's not Arteta's trophy. It is Arteta's trophy, of course it is. But that FA Cup came in his first season. He's then since spent 700 million, and he's got nothing to show for it. Another failure of a season. What did you make about the performance last night? Who do you see anybody to blame? Do you think it was a collective effort?
Well, it's a performance of what Odegaard, man, Martin Odegaard, man. I don't know what about this nor this player, man, from his gun. This player just I don't know what's going on. The chances that he should be taking, he should put away those chances. He had that Declan Rice get as well. He hit it wide. He should have put it directly to goal to try to beat Donnarumma. And Donnarumma was stepping up. I'm so surprised that that game didn't even go into extra time. Because I was shocked that that game should have gone into extra time. But after Fabian scored, I said in my mind, I said, look, man, this game not going to go to extra time. This game is done. It's dusted. Donnarumma just have no chance of putting the game into extra time. But yeah, I wish PSG all the best in the finals against Inter. So yeah, man, I wish them all the best, man. So indeed, but there's another chance if Arsenal, I know Arsenal could get a Champions League again for the upcoming new season. So or will be there as well. But yeah. But they need a striker and all. But they need to sign someone. But well, they do very well. They reach far. Congrats to Arsenal. They really deserve. They reach this distance, beating Real Madrid in the other round and reaching the semifinals. This close almost, but PSG is too strong. It's a too strong. They have Dembele on the bench, but most of PSG is too strong when they're at home in Paris.
You make a good point because as much as I've ranted and raved about Arsenal being poor, Arsenal not doing things correctly, I guess one thing I've kind of overlooked in this whole thing has been actually praising PSG. And like I say, outside of the opening 20 minutes, PSG were actually very good in the game to control it in certain areas and just if they'd have taken their chances a little better, if the final ball had been a little better, if they'd have been a bit more prolific, they could have actually gone on to score a couple more goals. Like I said earlier, Kvaratskhelia hit the post. But Donnarumma, man, I don't know what it is this season, but in this competition this season, Donnarumma's like a man possessed, bro. He's another fine performance again from him, from a goalkeeper who I didn't really rate at the beginning of this season. I didn't really rate him whatsoever. I just thought he was a very tall goalkeeper who is very good in a 1v1 situation because of his size, because of his frame. But other than that, he doesn't really have much about him. Even from set pieces, like you put the ball on top of him, he somewhat flaps at times, but there's been no doubt that he has been a very important player for PSG, not just in terms of this game, but we saw against Liverpool, he was important then. We saw against Aston Villa in the second half of the second leg especially, he was important then as well. Question is now, and my question to you, do you think PSG could go on and win it?
Look, that's going to be really, really tough because right now it will be the battle of both goalkeepers because we saw what Jan Sommer did against Barcelona. So we will see who will be making saves now. So we have come down to the final stage of the Champions League now. And it's in Munich. So it's the battle of both goalkeepers, right? The Italian goalkeeper Donnarumma against the Switzerland goalkeeper of Jan Sommer. So we'll be seeing who will be winning that would be interesting. It's gonna be a great, great one. I think if Lautaro Martinez lead Inter, it's gonna be a great, great showdown indeed between these two, indeed between Luis Enrique against Inter Milan, and yeah, with him beat like three English clubs. It's down to where will it go? Will he go to France? Will he go to Italy? It's gonna be decided in this month. Indeed, it could be a great, great final. Looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely, indeed. I can't wait for it. Two quality teams, two contrasting teams as well. We've got very technically gifted PSG against an Inter Milan side that are going to be happy to let PSG have the ball. They're going to be happy to sit back, allow PSG to have all the possession in the world and try to make it as difficult as they can to break them down. Marco here says, even if Arsenal lose their games, which is very possible, other teams would still need to win and catch up. That's why I said it's unlikely, bro. Like, as much as I would love it if Arsenal dropped out of the top five, you're still relying on a lot to happen that is out of Arsenal's control, and for everything to go against Arsenal and for Arsenal then to lose all of their games as well, I think it's just too much of an ask, in my personal opinion. Ruiz has been one of my favorite ballers since Napoli. He's brilliant, and he works extremely well in that midfield.
Great question from Marco as well. That for Marco Ruiz. Now he's reunited with his former teammate in Kvaratskhelia. So yeah, and I'm also happy for him, man, for Kvaratskhelia as well. Finally going to win a trophy now since he's been at Napoli and didn't go to the Champions League finals, but now he got the opportunity now. I'm really, really proud of him, man. He's good.
He's good. As well with Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah,
the thing is, what with Kvaratskhelia, he could have had one hell of a season. Like, he's part of the PSG team that has won the French league. He was obviously part of the Napoli team that, if they continue their pursuit of the Serie A title in Italy, he's going to win 2 league titles this season. And then if PSG win the Champions League as well, this guy's going to be part of an incredible trio of achievements for this season alone. Yeah. So fair play to Kvaratskhelia. And every time that I see him, it's painful because I so wish Liverpool would have bought him. It's painful every time I see him, but he's a joy to watch. There's no doubt about it. Will Liverpool play seriously against Arsenal at home? don't know. I think again it's going to be like how we did on Sunday. I think it's going to be not as intense. I think it's going to be a slightly watered down version with a bit of rotation in there. I don't know. How do you see it going?
Well, for me, no man, this game against Arsenal, we already won the league. We already won it despite the Olympic trophy yet. But I think that Martinelli have a cooking to be do on Sunday on Mother's Day. So I think that Trent is going to be this will be Trent's final game against Arsenal at Anfield. But man, if we win, we're just gonna send off Trent Alexander-Arnold with another one. So yeah, because Martinelli will be cooking him, and the way
Personally,
we're playing, I'm very proud indeed, and also Maka. This player just amazing. The first Argentine winning a trophy since he left Brighton to join us. Now he's really he have a World Cup now, and he's going to have the Premier League. So he really joined the club and he said he want to win trophy. He's getting what he's getting. He's really right. He did say it before when he joined. He
I
said
just
it.
say personally,
He's
I
really
wouldn't play Trent. Personally, I just wouldn't play Trent. But if they do play Trent, it's going to be very interesting to hear the reaction that he's going to get on Sunday. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of reaction he gets on Sunday. Margaret
exactly.
says, I think Odegaard will play better if they take captain's armband off him. I somewhat agree. I think certain players they feel the weight of expectation with the captain's armband. I mean, Odegaard's performances, I wouldn't say were terrible before he picked it up. And obviously last season and the season before especially, he was okay. And certain players react better like that. Look at Harry Maguire at Man United. Take the captain's armband off him, and his performances. I know it's Maguire, so bear with me on this one. But take the captain's armband off him, and his performances weren't that bad, and the media attention that he was receiving has actually kind of lifted from him. So I do agree with somewhat of what you're saying. What's Mbappe thinking? I think he's thinking maybe short term I messed up, maybe long term maybe not. We shall see.
Well,
Does the
yeah,
Prem
if that
give the trophy on the last match day or when you actually win it in other leagues? Last day. Oh, no, sorry. I don't think it's the last game of the season. I think it's the last home game that you play of the season. Unless, of course, you win it on the last day and you are away from home. I think that's the only exception.
yeah,
I think.
we're at home against Palace.
Yeah.
We're at home
Yeah.
against Palace.
Because
So everybody will be playing. Everybody will play on the same day. So anything happens, well, this player already won. So
yeah.
so
I
we
think
just have to
I think
stop the
the only exception to that, I think, is if obviously it goes down to the last day of the season and then you just lift the trophy in someone else's stadium in front of your away fans, if you are, of course, away from home and are forced to win it at the end of the campaign. But yeah, we'll be lifting it against Palace. Virgil van Dijk will be lifting the trophy on the 25th of May. We are in May now. May 2025, exactly 20 years on from that incredible night
So
in Istanbul.
this
Five
will
time.
be he's lifting the trophy as captain for the first time. Henderson does it. So with
Yep.
him having the captain band for us, I really like his leadership. I really respect his leadership on the field and off the field. That is how captaincy. I'm happy that he's staying as well. That because where will we find a new captain from? And he's really a brick wall around there for us at defense. And taking over from Henderson is just wonderful and very fantastic. And I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to really celebrate another trophy. And I'm looking forward to see what the boys
You
them will do. right in front of the fans. Looking forward to it, man.
It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun, and I can't wait myself. I agree with you. You touched on an interesting point, though. I didn't really want to bring this up on this particular one because it's kind of a little bit off topic. But who do you see being our vice captain now? Trent obviously got.
I'm hearing that everybody's talking about Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. Well, fair enough. I'll take him. I have no problem. I watch him a few times, but he's very good. I'll take Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. But
I
I don't
think
think
with the release clause that he reportedly has, yeah, I agree. I think we will probably go for him. As I don't think he's a terrible player, but yeah, I think with the release clause in his contract, it does smell of like a typical Liverpool deal. But yeah, so who do you think will be vice captain going forward?
well, I think that it's like how Salah is staying. I think Salah will be the vice captain because if we get Frimpong, we have to give him some time because he's coming to Liverpool. If he come to us, we cannot really force to give him the vice captain yet. So we have to give the vice captain to Salah because he's staying. And I said Salah. I'm going to say with Salah.
I was thinking if Alisson stays, maybe Alisson. I was thinking as much as I don't want him to sort of stay, maybe Robertson. I was thinking McAllister as well, you know. I was thinking McAllister
perfectly.
Like,
yeah.
Maka, I like that a lot.
Yeah, but start after this side. Start after this side. We have to decide. What we have to decide.
Solid. I like
that goes.
Mark says, I have ever seen Bayern having a full on beer party on the pitch with trophy ceremony with like 7 games to go. They just do things just way better over there in Germany. Love a beer. 7 degrees Celsius tonight in Bodo. Not bad, but still polar bear things, fam. Spursy. It's set up, isn't it? It's up. We talked about Arsenal. We talked about Inter, PSG, all of that stuff. Europa League takes centre stage tonight, my dude. Man United go 3-0 up against Bilbao. Tottenham are 3-1 up against Bodo Glimt. Man United are at Old Trafford. Tottenham are travelling to Norway. How do you see it going? Is it going to be an all-English final, or are there going to be a couple of surprises tonight?
As I said before the last time, I said this year before when I come on the panel, I said that game between United and Spurs, it's going to be all England finals. So if Spurs win, they're going to hear the end of the story. If United win, oh my word, it's going to be all of a kind. But I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm looking forward to it indeed. But I think it's going to be a big showdown in the finals. Looking forward to the finals as well. It's going to be all England finals for me.
Like I say, if it is, it rubs even more salt in the wounds of those Arsenal fans that are witnessing 2 rivals battle it out for a European Cup in a final, despite having such poor seasons. So you're going for an all-English final? You don't see any sort of surprise then?
I'm going for it. I'm going for Spurs United. It's dusted. It's done. Spurs United, all England finals.
Yeah, I think I alluded to it earlier from Marco. Like as much as I'd like to see both Bilbao and Bodo Glimt somehow manage to fight back, I'd give more of an opportunity to Bodo Glimt than Bilbao. But yeah, I can't see them coming back from 3-0 / 3-1 down. It's just not something that I see, in all honesty. Marco also points out there is Conference League action. Yep, there is actually a Conference League game that's actually existing for Chelsea. Who you got, Fiorentina or Betis, to play Chelsea in the final? Chelsea, of course, are 4-1 up against a Swedish team I have never heard of before, with all due respect. But the other game in this competition is Fiorentina versus Betis. What's the score in the first leg? I'm just double checking. It's 2-1 to Betis going into tonight. Who do you see making it to the final to play Chelsea?
For me, I think it's going to be between either Florentina or Betis. I think Real Betis will go to finals. They have Anthony, Mr.
Could you
Spinner.
imagine? Could you imagine
Real Betis against Betis.
In a situation where Chelsea are favourites and firm favourites to win this competition, it is the guy who was not deemed good enough for the Premier League and for Manchester United that dumps them out of the competition in the final. Please let that happen.
I'm calling it Real Betis, Chelsea. Chelsea good.
You know what? I'll go with you on that one. I'll go with you on that one. Purely for the Anthony vibe. Although, as Marco points out, De Gea in goal for Fiorentina. De Gea versus Onana. That's also good. I like that as well. I like that as well. Where we at? When will Trent be officially introduced at Real? Will he even be able to do 4 kick-ups in front of the cameras? It depends, because they're trying to obviously get this deal done before the Club World Cup starts, so that they have him for that competition. So they're trying to get a deal done early. We'll see. We'll see, obviously, how it happens, if they want to get that deal done and dusted, or if they want to wait. It's up to them. Isco, top player as well for Betis. Yeah, absolutely. Isco, very, very good player. Very talented. Very much a skillful and flair type player. Really did like Isco in his, especially in his prime. Fiorentina is very good. Like I say, it's not a bad final, whichever way it's set up for Chelsea, Fiorentina or Betis. It will actually be a bit of a competitive final in that aspect. The most competition that Chelsea have faced all year, it seems, in this competition, because they've absolutely breezed past most of it. And for half of the campaign, they didn't even have to use their big players. So it's going to actually be a competitive final. I'm just hoping that Chelsea don't win it, because even though they are the favourites, and even though logic dictates that they should go on and win this competition, it would just be funny to see them lose, and it would be much better for the competition if a side like Fiorentina or Real Betis were to go on and win instead. It would just be better for the competition. Arsenal would struggle against both Betis and Fiorentina. I think that's a little harsh. Moise Keane, Baller, Goosens. I can never pronounce his freaking name. German international. Goosens. I know who you mean. I just butchered the pronunciation of his name. Thing with Moise Keane, ex-Evertonian. So, nah, not bothered about him, to be honest with you. Not bothered in the slightest about Moise Keane, to be perfectly honest with you on that one. But yeah, I get it. European competition, guys. You can't beat it, can you? Champions League's thrown up some very exciting games this week. Some very interesting proposals. A final to really look forward to in Inter Milan versus PSG. Can't wait for that one. The Europa League is going to be interesting as well. I've got a video actually coming out just before, it'll be sometime before the games go ahead tonight, talking about Arsene Wenger's comments about how United and Tottenham should not be going into the Champions League next season, even if they win the Europa League. So look out for that one as well. We'll get that out there before tonight's game kicks off. Fingers crossed it actually is a video that's actually going to mean something and that both Bilbao and Bodo Glimt don't go through. It'll be ridiculous. It'll just be a pointless video then if both of them go through and Spurs and United bottle it. Lo Celso ex-Spurs at Betis too. Never really rated Lo Celso. Like, he looked good on the eye, but didn't really have a lot of end product from what I remember. Remember the goal of the year Puskas award from Lo Celso against Arsenal? Wasn't it Lamela? Or am I thinking of a different goal? Wasn't it Lamela who... You talk about the Rabona goal, right? I have it in my head that it was Eric Lamela. Lamela, yeah. Yeah, no problem, dude. My memory's not great. So I completely understand where you were coming from. Yeah, it was a ridiculous goal. It was a ridiculous goal, to be fair. Yeah, was during lockdown. Yeah, quality goal. Absolute quality goal. So, yeah, we look forward to Europa League tonight. Europa Conference League as well, hanging around in the background. Chelsea are pretty much through, let's face it. But the big story is, of course, Arsenal. Welcome along to the stream. I hope you are well, my friend. Linola. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Arsenal out. PSG into final. I can't wait for that, man. I can't wait for that final. That final's going to be quality. What's that show you wearing? It's a Mexican team. It's Atletico San Luis, Mexican team. I was gifted a mystery kit. You know, one of them mystery kit boxes that are actually quite fun and I quite like. And this is the one that came about, and I was quite happy with it, to be honest with you. It's quite a nice top. So yeah, we'll wrap things up with the just briefly talking about the final. Don't want to give away too many things. Don't want to give away a prediction or anything. Arsenal out, Barcelona out, Inter in, PSG in. Two contrasting teams, which 9 times out of 10 does make for a exciting game of football. I can't wait for this one. PSG like to have the ball. They're very technically gifted. Inter, they're content with not having the ball. They're content with just sitting deep, soaking up as much pressure as they can, hitting on the counter-attack. By the way, I think if Arsenal were to go through against Inter, I think they would have struggled because of Inter's low block. They could really frustrate Arsenal. Arsenal would struggle to break them down unless it was from set pieces. I think Arsenal would have struggled, to be honest with you. But this one throws up a bit more of an intriguing battle for me. And I, for one, can't wait for this one to play out because, like I say, it's going to be two contrasting teams, two sets of players that have got skill, flair, and moments in them. You've got Donnarumma, who was like a man possessed in goal, was exceptional again last night. You've got arguably two of the best fullbacks in the world right now on form in Nuno Mendes and Hakimi. You've got two centre-backs, which aren't exactly the most watertight defence, but they were solid enough across both legs for PSG. The midfield is PSG's best asset It's so well drilled, well technically gifted, and works extremely well in tandem. Up front, whether it's Barcola or Doué, it's not a bad selection problem to have. Dembele will probably be back properly for the final. And Kvaratskhelia, of course. Thanks for having me on. Josh is doing Liverpool versus Arsenal preview today. I'm doing one tomorrow on my channel. Yeah, get over there, guys. Go over to Jordan's channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Jordan, for coming on and chatting to us. Awesome takes as per usual, my friends. Like I say, go over there with Jordan's channel. And I assume it's True Gunner's channel as well. True Gunner is going to have Jordan on doing a preview for the Liverpool game on Sunday. So get over to True Gunner's channel as well. Give him a shout out. And, of course, Jordan's channel as well. Ismail, welcome along to the live stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I don't know about anyone else, but I thought Saka took responsibility in that final 15 to 20 minutes up top. Yeah, he missed a sitter, but no one was getting on to the end of those crosses until he got into the centre forward positions. I completely agree with you, bro. I completely agree with you. I don't think it was his best performance that night, but I can't fault his effort level. And like you say, he's there to make the mistake happen for the goal, gets Arsenal with a glimmer of hope back into the game, misses the sitter, but you have to be in those opportunities to at least get them. And I think he was just one that led by example a little bit last night. And it's just unfortunate for him, I guess, that the others didn't quite step up. Even with Thomas Partey back in the midfield, like it just didn't really matter. After the opening 15, 20 minutes or so, Arsenal's performances just dropped. He's going to lead us to great things. Yeah. All I want to say on that is, how long do you think these players are going to give this head coach? How long do you think they're going to give Arteta? How long do you think the belief is going to remain until they potentially drop tools and maybe revert back into themselves? Maybe they decline a little bit, because there's only so far you can go under a regime with no success before things start turning extremely sour. And right now it seems everyone's on the same hymn sheet, everyone's fine, but this is another season of no success, no trophy, no silverware. The talk is going to get even louder, that the pressure is going to intensify. And we've already talked about how Arteta is very stubborn. We've already talked about how he's very rigid in his approach. And I don't know about any of you, but William Saliba's performances in recent weeks have declined. And that declining has seemingly coincided with speculation mounting over a potential move to Real Madrid, it seems. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe there is something behind it. I don't know. But that could be a big loss if that is to happen. You, of course, had the Saudi links not long ago for Gabriel. How long before some of these big players start to realize that maybe Arteta isn't the guy to get them across the finish line? And maybe it's either he goes or they go. I'm very intrigued by what is going to be coming up for Arsenal in the coming weeks, the coming months, especially with the transfer window on the horizon and going into next season as well, whether they are all going to be fully backing Arteta or whether the belief is going to start to slowly drain out of them. He's going to leave. I have to read that one. I think they all like him more than we actually know. I mean, we shall see. There's nothing to suggest that you're wrong in that statement. There's absolutely nothing to suggest right now that you're wrong in that statement. But like I say, it may start to dawn on the minds of those Arsenal players that maybe they are just going to be second best under this manager, and that's the highest they're going to get. Maybe. I think Arsenal is okay with being the best of the rest. I mean, that was the story for a long time, wasn't it? That Arsenal were content with getting Champions League football and not really progressing. But you can't, in my opinion, spend 700 million without the ambition there to go above and beyond. Like, don't get me wrong, like, money can be spent horribly wrong. Look at the way that the likes of United and Tottenham, for example, have spent so much money in recent years only to dwindle and to fall apart. You can spend a lot of money, have the ambition and the want to improve and get better, but not necessarily achieve it. Arsenal have got better. Arsenal have improved from where Arteta took over. But you've got to say that the last few transfers that they've made have been in the wrong areas. And it goes back to the point that I said right at the beginning of this just under an hour and a half stream. Arteta said last year, when they got knocked out by Bayern, he needed a prolific goal scorer, a 25 to 30 goal a season striker. He instead went out in the summer and bought a left back who ironically can't defend. He went out and bought a centre defensive midfielder, which I think was needed to partner Declan Rice. And admittedly, I will say that I thought was going to be better than what he's actually proven in that area. And he loaned a washed-up winger in Raheem Sterling. Where's the striker? You knew what you wanted. You said what you needed. And yet, your actions didn't back up your words. Like I say, that's why the one glimmer of hope for Arsenal, in my opinion, is this new sporting director they brought in. If this new sporting director comes in and takes the power that's seemingly on Arteta, lifts it off his shoulders, makes the big signings, makes the right moves in the transfer window that is going to benefit the squad, Arsenal could be in for a very good season next year. But it's a massive, massive transfer window. A lot riding on it and a lot of pressure. And again, Arsenal don't do well under pressure. Under pressure, what do they say about pressure? It either bursts pipes or makes diamonds. Right now, there's a lot of burst pipes at Arsenal. A lot of burst pipes at Arsenal. It's going to be a very interesting transfer window to see what Arsenal do. Mr. DT still makes videos about Arsenal regularly. Yeah, I don't follow him after obviously what he did and what happened, which is a shame because really did, like I say, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I try to watch as much football content from other rivals as possible to get more of an insight on them and to obviously get more of an insight and to kind of help myself in these kind of live streams and videos to try and maybe improve myself and to look at as inspiration. So when obviously AFTV was really, really taking off, and obviously DT was a part of it, watched his videos quite a lot. And it's just a shame, obviously, as to what has happened and what's transpired with him over the years. And that's as much attention as he will probably get on this channel. But yeah, we're going to wrap up there, guys. We're going to wrap up there. An incredible past couple of days of Champions League action. Europa League tonight. Europa Conference League as well to come. Big end to the season we've got coming up with the FA Cup final, Champions League final, and other things going on as well. Obviously, there is no comeback from what he did, but AFTV was more fun with him from what it's worth. But he is still entitled to make his videos after he gets it. Oh, absolutely. And I'm 100% supportive of anyone that tries to redeem themselves and try to make amends for what they did. It's just, you know, the kind of things he did or what is being spoken about. Yeah, it's not ideal. But yeah, like I say, him, Troops, Claude, God bless him. Even Ty, for his absolute delusion at times, was somewhat entertaining at least. Yeah, there were probably one or two other characters on there that really helped grow FTV into the monster and phenomenon it is today. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. He was definitely a big part player, no doubt. I don't even tune into AFTV anymore for rants anymore. No Troops, no Mr. DT, just a bit of. There are a few guys on there that I do rate. There are a few guys on there that I do rate. There's Dan Potts. I rate his takes from time to time. Turkish is not bad. And sometimes just for comedic value. Lee Judges sometimes. The rant he did last week about putting Lewis Skelly in midfield. Yeah, I rate it was good. It was good. Troops, not rants. Yeah, I mean rants is in ranting and raving. Yeah, I get you, bro. I get you. But yeah, yeah. Used to be good. I don't know. I think problem with it now is that I don't know if they have as many regulars as what they do, and I think certain ones that you get are sort of they're out there as trying to maybe make a platform for themselves again. So maybe the opinions aren't as genuine and as authentic as what they once were. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Can't believe Ransom Man is actually a brother of Expressions, polar opposite. Yeah, man, it's crazy, isn't it? Big up Expressions, man. He's so good. He's a modern day Shakespeare, that guy. Modern day Shakespeare. He is so entertaining to watch. He genuinely is the best thing about Tottenham. He's the best thing about Tottenham. If their club put as much heart and as much desire into the club as what he does with his rants and with his words, they would be unstoppable. They genuinely would be unstoppable. Genuinely, like as soon as they lose the Europa League and Ange goes, put Expressions in charge. Put him in charge of that team. The interviews would be gold. The press conferences would be magical. Put him in. Give it Expressions till the end of the season. Why not? Anyway, like I say, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks, everyone, for joining me on what has been a long rant and rave about Arsenal being knocked out of the Champions League and a brief look ahead to an incredible Champions League final we have in prospect of Inter against PSG, Inzaghi against Enrique, Kvaratskhelia against Lautaro Martinez, Marcus Thuram against Ousmane Dembele. I can't wait. I can't wait. Jan Sommer against Donnarumma. Dumfries against Nuno Mendes. Hakimi against DiMarco. Bastoni against Marquinhos. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. When Spurs beat Ajax last minute to get in the Champions League final, he sprinted from Emirates to Spurs Stadium. He's incredible. He's incredible, man. I love the guy. I love the guy. He's absolutely brilliant. Modern day Shakespeare. Modern day Shakespeare. How later? It might depend on how later it is. I might be free. I might not be. I'm not 100% sure. You can find me on Twitter, bro. I'm on Twitter. I'm on whatever site. I don't know. Really should use Twitter more often. I don't. I will use it for like a week, and then I will not use it for like 2 weeks, and then I will follow in that cycle. I've got to use my social media better. Yeah, hit Fletch1296 on Twitter, bro. Fletch1296 on Twitter. I will always say it's Twitter. I don't call it X because X is just stupid. But yeah, Fletch1296 on Twitter. If you ever want to hit me up on that, or just talk football to me. Like, would love that as well. Thuram consoled Lamine and hugged him at the end and hugged, and then put up a violation disgusting post about Lamine, and he deleted it shortly after. I've not seen that. I've not seen anything like that. Was it like legitimately properly bad, or was it taken in the wrong context? Or I've not seen it, so I don't know anything about it, bro. I don't know anything about it. Yamal's gonna be fine though. Yamal's gonna be fine. 17 years of age. He's got an entire lifetime ahead of him. The kid's gonna be fine. The kid's gonna be fine. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. Appreciate you all. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Appreciate you all so much for all of those things. Yeah, leave your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, in the comments section. Hit me up with any ideas that you want to talk about for future videos, any kind of topics or any kind of ideas that you guys have would be appreciated. Yeah, he posted a post with Lamine on the ground in the mud and him cheering. I mean, is that a violation disgusting post to put up, that kind of image? Was it that bad? Is that just, or is there more to it? Is there more to it? I'm going to tell him, what is your Twitter name? Fletch1296, bro. Those days. Evenings are kind of awkward for me. During the day is slightly better, but evenings are kind of awkward for me right now. No, just a pic of Lamine on the floor and him up and winning, which was in bad taste after the huge post game. I mean, it's football banter, bro. Like, maybe it didn't need to consist of any Barcelona players, especially not him, but I don't see anything personally wrong with just with that, to be honest with you. Nothing horribly wrong anyway. Maybe it is a little bit in bad sportsmanship, maybe. But yeah, I don't see anything personally wrong with it. Deleted it after the backlash. Is that just because Yamal's got an insane following right now? I don't know. More Inter players posted it, but not after consoling Lamine like Turan did. So is that it? Is people just going like, you're two-faced, you're this, you're that? I don't know. I don't see anything personally not completely wrong with it. Maybe, like I say, it is a little bit in bad sportsman taste, but no, I don't necessarily think that's anything completely bad, to be honest. It was according to some because he hugged Lamine so much after the game, so you get how it's bad. Like I say, probably bad sportsmanship, yeah, maybe, but to make it sound like it was a disgusting violation of a post, yeah, I think that's going a bit too far, to be honest. He hugged Lamine so much after the game, that's the context. I guess it's to each their own. Yeah, two-faced, otherwise no problem with the post. I get that. A bit unsportsmanlike, a bit two-faced. All right, fair enough. Like, if he just posted an image of him celebrating or his teammates celebrating, I guess, yeah, fine. But to put him in the image, I guess, okay, I can somewhat understand where people might get their anger from. Fair enough. Like I say, guys, hit up the comments, hit the likes, hit the subscribes if you're new. All of those things greatly appreciated from you all. Thank you all so much for contributing. Fletch1296, bro. Fletch1296. I don't know if it should be in my bio, right? In my YouTube bio, I think. Yeah, it's in my YouTube bio, bro. So go to my YouTube bio, click on it, and where it says links, it will link you to my Twitter. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for everybody that contributed to the stream. Thank you to the likes of Marco, Social, for Jordan, for both jumping in on the chat and obviously jumping on the stream as well. All of you guys and the many more of you that off the top of my head, I don't remember because my memory is terrible. I do apologize, but you guys are absolutely awesome. I can't thank you enough for the love, support that I get from you guys. It is absolutely insane to me, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you. It's very much appreciated and will never be taken for granted. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you to everybody who contributed. Thank you to everybody that hit the like button and everything else in between. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks live stream, and I will talk to you all again, you mighty fine people, in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.